Super Mario Galaxy is one of the most popular 3D Mario games out there, and well, there was tons of merchandise made for it. And well, in this video, I'm going to be looking at all the Super Mario Galaxy plushes, including unofficial ones, as well there's actually some really cool unofficial ones that are out there. And well, I'm also going to be including a few from the game Super Mario Galaxy 2, as well there's only really 2 plushes from that game, so I might as well include them here. So yeah, starting off we have the B Mario. Now, by far the best B Mario plush out there is the one made by Sine. As well, this one's officially licensed, and well, basically every single detail on this plush is completely accurate, and the only really downside to it is that it's sitting down. As well, I think it would have just looked a bit better if they made it standing up, but yeah, overall, this is just a really nice looking plush that doesn't really have many downsides to it at all. As well, basically everything on this plush is perfect, from the hat to the actual body of this plush. Basically everything's perfect about it and is really high quality. And well, this one actually is pretty hard to find though, as well, but it's just really expensive and also doesn't show up that often, and there's very few of them for sale at the same time. And well, there's also the officially licensed Banpresto one, which also just looks really good. I would say that this one's just slightly worse than the Sine one, as well, I just like the style of the Sine one a bit better, but I am glad that this one's standing up, as well, I think it just makes it look slightly better when the B Mario is standing up. And while the rest of the details aren't that bad, it's definitely not as good as the Sine one, but still, all the details are really nicely made and is high quality. And well, another thing that I don't really like about this plush is that it's just way too big, as compared to basically every single other Mario plush, is just way too big. But yeah, even though it's a bit too big, most details are really high quality, and there's not a lot of details on this plush that could get damaged, so yeah, overall, this one is pretty rare though, and sells for around the same price as the Sine one. And well, there's also 2 bootlegs that I found, starting off with this one, and well, this one just looks really strange. As well, this one seems to be based off of the Sine one because it's sitting down, and well, the actual hat on this plush looks horrible, as it was made out of this fake leather material that just looks bad. And the actual face just looks really ugly and is not that well embroidered on, and well, the rest of the body is just way too big and it just doesn't look good at all. And well, sometimes on websites like eBay and Mercari, some people actually try to sell this one as the official thing, which is obviously not true, so yeah, you definitely shouldn't get this one as well, it's just really low quality. And well, there's also this other bootleg B Mario, which just looks really strange, and once again, it seems to be based off of the Sine one. And well, once again, I sometimes see this one on eBay and Mercari, and well, they claim that it's official, but it's obviously not, and once again, it's just really low quality, and basically everything about it just looks off. And well, there's also this custom B Luigi plush, which is actually really unique, as well, it doesn't really copy the pattern from anything, so yeah, overall, this is just a really nice custom plush, and it's the only B Luigi plush I've ever seen. So yeah, the creator of this custom plush definitely did a great job with it. I'm glad that at least somewhere out there a B Luigi plush does exist. Now moving on to the next power up, we have the Boo Mario. Now once again, in my opinion, the best one's definitely the Sine one, but not by that much. As well, I would say that the Banpresto one and the Sine one are pretty much the exact same as on how good they are. It just kind of matters on which one you like more. Well, I think that the Sine one is just slightly better. And well, the main reason for that is that it's sticking out his tongue, which is just a really nice detail, and it adds a bit more character to the plush. And well, for all the details on this plush, there's really not that many details, as well as just the mustache, the nose, and the eyes and eyebrows that are embroidered onto the face. As well, the rest of the body is basically just a normal Boo plush, except it's just slightly bigger, and it also uses the normal Sine Mario hat. So yeah, this is definitely a really nice looking plush. I'm glad that they made it. And well, Banpresto also made one, which looks very similar to the Sine one, except it's just not sticking out his tongue. And well, I could clearly tell why a lot of people think this one is better, but yeah, in my opinion, I think the Sine one's just slightly better, but this one's still great. As of once again, everything on this plush is just really high quality, and well, everything on this plush basically looks perfect. As well, characters like Boo Mario are very simple to make in plush form, as well, they don't really have that many details, so most of the time, the plushes of them just look amazing. And well, for both the Sine and the Banpresto one, you could both find these plushes on eBay and Mercari, and they sell for around the exact same price, being around $150 to $200. And well, there's also this bootleg Boo Mario plush, which just looks really strange, and honestly, everything about it just looks weird. As well, the hat on this plush is just really low quality, and the embroidery looks horrible, and basically everything about it is just too big, and it looks really weird. And the only good thing about this bootleg is that we actually did get a Boo Luigi plush out of this bootleg. So yeah, I am glad that they made a Boo Luigi, as it just makes this bootleg slightly more unique. And it's also basically your only option for a Boo Luigi plush. Now moving on to the next power up, we have Spring Mario. And well, this is the only Spring Mario plush I could find, and it's just a small crochet one. As though I looked for a little while, and I couldn't really find anything besides this one crochet plush, and well, it still looks pretty good. As though for a crochet plush, Mario's face actually looks pretty good, and the spring on it looks accurate to the game, and well, basically everything about it just looks accurate, especially in crochet form. As though characters like Mario are really hard to make in crochet, as though since he has a lot of details on him and crochet is really small, it's actually pretty cool that they were able to do it this detailed. But yeah, I know at some point this plush was for sale, but I'm not sure if it's for sale anymore, but you could check on websites like Etsy. Moving on to the next power up, we have the Red Star Mario. Now, the Red Star is basically a power up you unlock at the end of the game, and well, there's only this one bootleg that I could find of it. And well, it basically just uses the exact same pattern as the Flying Mario plush, which we'll look at later. And well, this one's basically just an exact copy of that one, but it just seems to be slightly lower quality. And while this is the only Red Star Mario plush that I could find, I would actually really like to get it, but honestly, there's only one listing that shows it. That one listing's extremely expensive, so I'll probably never get it. But yeah, for the actual plush itself, it looks fine, as since it's based off of a pretty good plush, the pattern on it looks pretty good. And while all the clothes on it looks accurate, so yeah, overall it's a pretty strange plush, especially because I could really only find this one image of it that exists. Now next up we have the Blimp Yoshi. As up in the game, there was a power-up that made Yoshi turn into this really big Yoshi, and well, there's actually two variants of this plush, being a much more common green one and a much more rare light blue one. And well, the light blue one is the actual one in the game, so I don't really know why that one's more obscure, as it would make much more sense for that one to be the more common one. But yeah, both of them basically use the exact same pattern. Well, these plushes are just really fat Yoshis. And well, basically every single detail on them look pretty accurate to the game, and well, they overall are really unique plushes, and I'm glad that the bootleggers made them. As without the bootleggers making this plush, we would have never gotten a Blimp Yoshi plush, so it was actually really unique. Now next up we have the Star Toads. And well, you could actually get 4 different colors of these toads, being a red one, blue one, yellow one, and green one. And while all of these bootleg plushes have actually become really obscure recently for whatever reason, as though they're just not made anymore. And I don't really know why they stopped making them, as though these plushes actually sell for a ton of money on eBay, so obviously a lot of people want them, so if the bootleggers started making them again, they would sell a lot. And well, a lot of different bootleg companies actually made these plushes, so there's actually very few of these plushes that you could find that look the exact same. As well, for example, this is the main green toad bootleg that you'll find, but there's also this one that just looks slightly different. There's also just tons of different variants of these plushes. So yeah, overall, they are pretty unique plushes, which I do wish were actually more available, as well, I just really like how they looked, and honestly, I hope they bring them back at some point. As well, some bootleg plushes from a really long time ago have come back at some point, so I hope these also come back. Now next we're going to be moving on to the Sine Mario holding a mushroom. Now, this is still considered a Super Mario Galaxy plush, as it was released with the rest of the Super Mario Galaxy plushes, but this one just doesn't really look like a Super Mario Galaxy one. As of all it is basically just the normal Super Mario plush set Mario plush, but it's just holding a mushroom. And well, this one's also just slightly bigger than this normal Sine one that was released at the time, so yeah, overall it's basically just that plush, but just slightly bigger and also holding a mushroom. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why they made the plush bigger is that they needed to have the mushroom have a bit more detail on it. And well, just like the rest of the Super Mario Galaxy set made by Sine, this one's actually really hard to get and costs a ton of money. And while they also made a Fire Flower variant of this plush, which is once again just the normal Super Mario plush set Fire Mario, except it's holding a fire flower. And well, once again, they just made this plush slightly bigger, most likely because they wanted a bit more detail on the fire flower. And well, once again, this isn't really that unique of a plush. It still is pretty special though, as I've never really seen that many plushes holding power-ups, so even though they're just kind of like the normal plush, they are still slightly unique. And well, just like the normal Mario, it sells for a good amount of money and it's pretty hard to get. And well, there's also this bootleg Ice Flower Mario that's just holding an ice flower, and it's obviously based off of the set. And while this bootleg one actually looks pretty good, as well as the one that you could usually find, and what you can sometimes find on websites like eBay and Mercari, it's not as rare as the other Super Mario Galaxy bootlegs. And well, there's also this other really weird one that I found, which I never even knew existed before making this video. Well, it was just a really strange looking one. As well, the shape of the body and everything just looks really weird, so yeah, overall, it's just a strange looking bootleg. Now, next up we have the Flying Mario, made by Banpresto. And well, this is the plush that the Red Star Mario was based off of, and well, this one actually looks really good. As well, I really like the pose of this plush, as well, it's basically in a great flying pose, and the arms are really nicely stuffed so that they'll continue to be in this perfect form, and well, it just looks really good. And well, this plush is most likely based off of the artwork on the box cover of this game as well, but basically uses the exact same design as that plush and is also sort of advertised that way in some images for the set. So yeah, overall, this is just a really high quality Mario plush, and well, it's also just really big like the other Super Mario Galaxy plushes made by Banpresto and well, you could find on eBay. And well, next up we have the Lumas. And well, there's this bootleg Luma plush that just looks really weird as well, but it's just really wide. And I don't really know why the bootleggers made it like this, as it was just a really wide looking Luma plush that just doesn't look that good. But thankfully, because Luma's a really popular character, there's actually tons of custom plushes. And well, you could just go on Etsy and look up Luma plushes and you could actually find a few different ones for sale. And well, all these custom plushes actually come with tons of different variants, so you could actually just buy a ton of different colors of Lumas. So yeah, thankfully, because of how popular of a character Lumas are, you could actually find tons of these plushes for sale pretty easily. And well, next up we have a couple of different mushroom plushes, starting off with the Star Mushroom. And well, this basically just uses the normal mushroom face, except it just has a star on it. And well, the star is actually really nicely stitched on. The inside of it also looks pretty good. So yeah, overall, even though this is a really simplistic plush, it still looks great. And well, this plush is actually official and it's made by Banpresto, and you could get it for around $75 to $100. And well, there's also a bootleg of this plush, which just looks really strange. As well, the face of the mushroom just looks pretty weird, and the embroidery just doesn't really look as good. And well, this one's also just really cheaply made compared to the official one. And well, there's also a Boo mushroom plush, which once again just looks great. And well, once again, this one's officially licensed, and the face on it is actually really nicely detailed, and it looks basically perfectly accurate to the game, just like the Boo Mario plush. And while the rest of the mushroom's just a white color, meaning that if you do get this plush, I would recommend taking very good care of it, because even just a slight bit of dirt on it could stain the plush forever. And well, surprisingly, I was actually unable to find any bootlegs of this one, which is actually pretty surprising, as well most of these mushrooms do have bootlegs of them. And well, next we have the Bee mushroom. And well, once again, this one's officially licensed and looks pretty good. As it'll be used as a normal mushroom pattern, except it just has these stripes on it to represent the bee, so yeah, overall, this looks pretty good. And well, once again, there's actually a couple of bootlegs of this one, and well, this first one just looks really strange. As well, the face of this one's actually a tan color, which just isn't accurate at all to the game, and well, the stripes on it just are the wrong color as well. So yeah, overall, this is definitely the worst Bee Mario plush bootleg out there, and while I also found this slightly better bootleg, which still looks off, but it's definitely not as bad as the last one. So yeah, I would definitely recommend sticking to the official ones for these mushrooms, as well the bootlegs just look really bad. And well, just like the Star Mushroom, the Boo Mushroom and Bee Mushroom sell for around the same price, being $75 to $100. And well, there's also just this really strange mushroom plush that I found, which is technically considered a Super Mario Galaxy plush, being this one. As when I was looking through these mushrooms, I actually found this one, and what was labeled as a Super Mario Galaxy plush. And I've also seen a few other people talk about this plush, and they say that it's a Super Mario Galaxy plush, but I have no idea what it's based off of. So if you have any idea what this plush is based off of, comment that down below, as I really have no idea, as it's just a really strange brown mushroom. So yeah, if you have any information about this one and what it's supposed to be, then comment that down below. I've never really seen this one for sale at all either. But yeah, those were all the Super Mario Galaxy plushes I could find, and well, there's a ton of unique ones, and well, Super Mario Galaxy has a great variety of plushes. As well, from the official ones to the bootleg ones, there's just a great variety of them, and well, most of them look really good. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like and subscribe and comment down below which of these Super Mario Galaxy plushes are your favorite, and yeah, have a great day.